Hello, welcome back to QNAP Live Broadcast. I'm Sam, the host for the topic today. And today we're going to introduce a newly launched switch that will be the QSW-1105-5T. Well, that is our new hardware model that can support like two ports of 2.5 gigabit internet port. So let's check on the slides first. Well, before we introduce all the hardware spec and of course the solution for the 2.5 gig, I want to bring out this question, like we already have a NAS specification for a 10 gig and even 5 gig, but why are we making this kind of product for a lower internet lower speed as a 2.5 gig? I think that is the problem. So we have our PM Frank here. Please. I
Yes.
think just tell us the reason and then we can start introduce this model.
Yes, okay. Hello everyone. Today we'd like to introduce our new 2.5 gigabit switch, which is the QSW-1105, the 5-port fully support 2.5 gigabit switch. And why we choose this one is we want to have a affordable 2.5 gigabit network for the home and the SOHO users. Maybe you will ask that the 2.5 gigabit is not the highest port speed for the networking, but why we want to choose 2.5 for this switch? We will introduce from the environment point of view and also the cost-effective point of view to let you know why we suggest you to use this switch in your home and the SOHO network. We will give you the details in the later slides. So before we go into the device, we can more realize that what the current and in the future deployment in the home and the SOHO user. The first page is we will talk about is the home deployment. Okay, this is the before. Before you can have a ADSL line from your ISP and they connect to your house, and maybe the modem only need to connect to your PC and the NAS. That's it. And your PC only get into internet, do some web browse, get some emails. That's it. No other fancies, no other high loadings network loading. So 1 gigabit is enough for you. So the network is very simple before. But now we are talking about is, you heard a lot of things, is the smart home device or smart appliance, which means now your televisions, also your hi-fi refrigerators, they can connect to the internet. Now you can have a Netflix on your television directly, and also like a YouTube. You can watch YouTube on the televisions, which means the television can connect to internet. And also for hi-fi, now the smart hi-fi is very popular. You can get the MP3 or online streaming from your hi-fi directory. Hi-fi directory. You don't need to download the files and put it into some appliance and play it. No, you just use your hi-fi connect to internet. And also the refrigerators, now they already have some options, like you can have maybe like apps can connect to the supermarket next to you, and it will check which vegetables now is missing in your refrigerators, and it will get orders from the supermarket. That kind of smart home appliance. And all these scenarios means that this appliance needs connect to internet. So more and more home appliances need internet access. But also for the personal smart device, before maybe you only need your laptop access to internet. But now you have laptop, you have smartphone, your even smartwatch and tablet. They all need access to internet. So before, one single smart device is with you, but now everyone have 3 to 4 smart devices. And you can imagine that you have a mom, dad, maybe your brother, sisters, four persons at home. They will have 15 to 20 endpoint devices at home. So more and more devices need to connect to the internet. And we are talking about the number of the smart home device. But another point of view is the port speed, the network speed. Now we are playing the online video game, watching some online streaming. and the network speed is very important because now the online game is more fancy than before. It will get a lot of performance with your network. You can imagine that maybe you are already your friends is hunting some boss on your online games, but suddenly your role is not working, not moving anymore. You will mad it because maybe this is a key point on key time is for your online games, but it's lagging. So the network speed is very important if you want to play some very fancy online game. And also for the streamings, now we are talking about not only for 4K, now we are talking about the 8K fully HD streamings, and there is a lot of the streaming database data on it. So the network speed is very important for the online game and the streaming. So the main board and also the laptop business, they already think that the network speed is very important to them. So they already announced some products which can support 2.5 gigabit network directly on board. For the main board, you can see some example right here. The main board supports 2.5, and also the laptop supports 2.5 gigabit network. They don't need any extended modules. They already on board supported. So they already see this kind of network request is very important in the future. So what now the home deployment will like that? It will looks like you will have a more and more endpoint device at home, and maybe some of them need a high-speed network, like your laptop or your PC. You need to have a online streaming or the online games. You need to have a very high-speed network. And also for your NAS, because maybe you buy some 8K high quality videos and put on your NAS, and maybe at home you and your brother, sister, or parents, they want to watch the videos on different devices. So the network is very important. The network speed is important, or your video will get lagging. So the network speed is very important for high quality streaming, and that your game you can play your online game very smoothly. So that's why we will suggest you need to upgrade to 2.5 gigabit. That is for the home deployed. But also we are talking about is how about the SOHO, some small personal office, like this kind of deploy. Maybe you only have a 2-3 laptop with a single NAS. That's it. So what kind of deploy will looks like before? Like these scenarios, it will only have 2-3 network devices, and not any high-speed network request, because for the files, maybe they are Word file, slice files, only very quite small for the file size. So 1 gigabit network is enough for this kind of data transfers. And also another key is for the uplink. Your uplink network, maybe from your ISP, connect to this building and separate it to your small office. The uplink only have a 1 gigabit network. So the 1 gigabit is enough for your office. But what now? Because for the files, for presentations, now everybody likes more fancy, a lot of pictures on it, can get the ideas very quickly. But also, which means if you need more pictures, more colors, some words on it, your files will getting larger, no matter the word or slice or the videos. Because if you need high quality videos, which means your file size will be way larger than before. So we talk about the larger file size, which means your network speed also need to increase, because if you get a larger file size, but your transfer is not enough for the transferring, you maybe need to get 2 or 3 times transfer time than before. It will affect your work. So the transfer efficiency is very important to the document. So you also need to upgrade your network speed. And also for the NAS, we are not only talking about the enough storage space is very important. So that is for sure, because your file size is getting larger, so your NAS need to extend more space for the files. But also the more larger storage space, but if your network speed is not quick enough, is also useless, because your files cannot upload or download. So you will need a NAS which need enough storage space and also high quality and a high speed network, and that your network efficiency can and affordable for your working. So this kind of NAS usually now you need to also upgrade. And also we talk about at home, you need to have some high-speed laptop PC for the streaming, for the online games. But also in the office, the high-speed network is also very important for the PC or laptop, because the slow network speed will decrease your working efficiencies. So the mainboard now already supports 2.5 gigabits, and also the laptop supports the 2.5 gigabits, and they are already embedded inside, which means you don't need to plug in some extended Type-C or USB network card. You just need to connect your network cable to the PC and the laptop, and they can have a high-speed network. Keep you stay with the high-speed network and without any latency. This is very important for the person working at the office. So what will looks like now for the SOHO deployed? The network, your network speed will raise to 2.5 gigabits, because not only your PC NAS can support it, maybe also your backbone for these buildings support 2.5 gigabits, which means maybe they will already have some high levels, high-end switch, and can have a 2.5 connections to your office. So your uplink also can upgrade to 2.5 gigabit. And you already have a 2.5 gigabit network, so you don't need to worry about when you need to transfer some large size documents will get lagging. So it will not affect your daily work. So now the SOHO deployed, we also can fully upgrade to 2.5 gigabit. And not only the QNAP talking about the users you need to upgrade to 2.5, because that is the future, something like that. Also like Intel, they already highlight how important for the 2.5 gigabit since earlier than 2019, because before 2019 they already started marketing this the 2.5 gigabit, and also they already have a chipset, a hardware. They already have a chipset support 2.5 gigabit since 2019. So the Intels, they are not only talking about the 2.5 gigabit is very important. They already have a product for that. So which means even the chipset vendor, they already see the market and the necessary for the 2.5 gigabits. Okay, so now everybody knows we need to upgrade to 2.5 gigabits. You need to buy our QSW-1105 to upgrade your network. But maybe you will ask, okay, now I already swapped my switch to the QSW-1105, but my laptop is still there. Do I need to upgrade my cables? Because it seems like because the PC needs to connect to the switch, it needs the network cable. So do I need to also upgrade my cables to have a 2.5 gigabit network? The answer is no. Okay, for the 2.5 gigabit network, you can use your original network cables, which means before you are using the Cat5e network cables, then you just need to use that directly. You don't need to swap to others. That is also very cost effective for upgrade to 2.5, because if you upgrade to 2.5 gigabit, you don't need to swap the network cables. So that's why we will say that the 2.5 gigabit is the best choice of the low cost upgrade your network speed. Because maybe people will ask that, okay, I can also upgrade to 10 gig or 5 gig. Yeah, that is another options. But you can see in these slides, we compare with the 1 gigabit upgrade to 2.5 and also 1 gigabit upgrade to 10 gigabit. Of course, the switch you need to swap to another one, but the cost for 2.5 compared to 10 gigabits, 2.5 is much lower than 10 gigabits, and that is for the switch. But if you talk about the cables, from 1 gig to 2.5 gigabits, you don't need to change your cables, so your cost is zero for cable. But if you want to upgrade from 1 gig to 10 gig, you need to swap your cable, and for 10 gigabits cable is cost a lot. So that's why we will say that, okay, you also have other choice for upgrade to the 10 gigabit, but for home and the SOHO, the 2.5 is enough for you, and the cost is lower than 10 gig. So that's why we will say the best choice for low cost is upgrade to 2.5 gigabit. So that's why we will say that don't let the low network speed slow down your steps, because like this scenario, you want to watch 8K Full HD videos, but if you only have a 1 gigabit connections, that you will feel that the video is very slow. But if you have a 2.5, it's very smoothly. So you can choose our QNAP QSW-1105-5T to take you to high-speed network without any pain. Why we say that? The first thing is the low price, because the switch, the price is very low. It can balancing the cost and the network speed, because in the previous slides we already show you that you also can upgrade to 10 gig, but the cost is much higher than 2.5. So compared to your usage, the 2.5 is enough for the home and also some SOHO users. So that's why we will suggest you upgrade to 2.5. And another key is because you don't need to change your cables, you don't need to replace, you don't need to redeploy your network cables, so you can save a lot of money for the cable deployments. So that's why we will say use the 1105 for your 2.5 gigabits upgrade is the best choice for the low cost. So now you already know we can use the 1105 for our 2.5 gigabits solutions. So that can have some hardware highlights for the size. First, we can have a look on our device. This is our 1105 right here. As you can see right here is a 5-port fully support 2.5 gigabit port right here, 5 ports, and then this is the power line. And here we have another alert. We will give you some details later. This is the loop light LED right here, and then this is the sister LED right here, and then this is the Fanless designs. Okay, Fanless designs for our housings, and you don't need to worry about the heat because this is fully ironed housings right here. You don't need to worry about the heat on for our device. So this is the device housings looks like. So we can get into the back to slides and we look some hardware highlights. The first thing is, and also is very important on the hardware, is you can connect your current endpoint device directly. Why we say that? Because now we are talking about is the 2.5 gigabits. But you will ask, my laptop is very old, or my PC is still keeping in the old generations. They only have a 1 gig. How about I connect a 1 gig device to the 2.5? Is that work? The answer is yes, because for our for this 1105, it can auto detect your port speed. It can determine which port speed is suitable for this endpoint device. So as you can see in this slides, suppose your laptop is the old generations, it only have 1 gigabit. So the switch will use 1 gigabit to communicate with this PC. And if you have another very quite old printer, it only can use a 100 megabit. Don't worry, it can also support 100 megabits. So you don't need to worry about that. My printer connect to the 1105, then not working. No, it will check the port speed for the device. If you can support 2.5, then it will full speed 2.5. If only 1 gig or 100 megahertz, it will have a suitable port speed for this kind of a device. So you don't need to worry about. You can feel free, just plug in and you can use it.
Okay, so we have we have two viewers and several viewers asking questions. How much? Well, the price will also we will also release the price when when we release the product.
Yes,
so
yes.
For US or the Europe, like when is the releasing date?
We will release this product in June this
June.
year. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then you will see the price at that moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the other question is, what about our old QNAP NAS device? Will they be upgraded to 2.5 gig via firmware, or we can only have the 1 gigabit with them?
Oh, if you talk about the NAS, is if it's only supported 1 gigabit, which means you need to, because the port speed, it need hardware supported. So if you are using the old NAS, you need to use extended 2.5, or you can choose others higher network card just for extended. That will be fine. But we will also, QNAP will also announce a lot of 2.5 gigabit supported NAS now or in the futures. You can also, that is your choice. You can choose upgrade to our new NAS or use the extended card for the 1 gigabit NAS upgrade to 2.5. It depends on you.
Yeah, but the NAS needs to have a expansion slot.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And then 2.5 is hardware, not software dependent. Well, if you are saying the switch, yes, the switch the hardware for the switch is a 2.5 gig internet speed, and yeah, you just need to power on, and then you can plug all the internet cable onto the switch, then you can use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will show you later, because this one is the plug and play switch. We will have one slide to introduce that. Okay, so the next hardware highlight is this is the fanless designs. Just like I showed you the housing before, we don't have a fan designs on it, which means you don't need to worry about the noise. Because we think about this 1105, the user will put it at home and in the small office, SOHO office. Maybe at the office the noise is not so important, but at home you can imagine that you will whole day work and you back home, you want to have some music for relax, but after you play the music, something is annoying next to you and something the fan's noise on you, you will feel like very bothering. Okay, so that's why we use the fanless designs, because we don't want to let the noise to bother our customers. Yeah, and also for the heatings, because I showed you previous, is we have a fully iron housing, so you don't need to worry about the heat. Yeah.
And we have other viewer asking 24 ports also available. Well, basically for now we have the 2.5 gig switch for the 5 port model.
Yes.
And we also have other switch that supports like 10 gig solution and like even 5 gig. And we will have more ports, but not 24 ports.
No,
so if you need 24 ports for the 2.5 gig switch, our suggestion is, well, basically, even if you purchase enough amount for the switch to reach the 24 port requirement, maybe the total budget will still be very affordable and very competitive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so we talk about the hardware, then we can go to the next one, is the software highlight. Okay, this is a very, I very like these features, and which we talk about is the loop guard. Okay, the loop guard, which means because sometimes if you deploy some network, maybe you plug in the wrong ports, wrong cables, and cause your network to loop, which means your network will totally mess. You cannot access to internet and access to other devices. So usually we will say you need to enable the loop guard. But usually the loop guard is only have this one on the high levels and the management switch, because usually you need to enable these functions and choose which ports you need to have a loop guard, which port you don't need it. So that usually is on the management switch and manually configurations. But on our QSW-1105 is automatically embedded and auto detect, which means it's fully times enables. After you power on this switch, the loop guard is already there. You don't need to worry about, do I need to do some enable configurations on this switch? Then I can have a loop guard. No, you just need to power this on. Just like here, we can stop some loop right here. And also we have a dedicated LED light, which I showed you before, is right here. The LED light, if it's keep steady with the red one, which means now the loop is on your switch. Then you just need to unplug some cables on it. Then after you didn't see any alert LED blinking on the switch, now the the loop is not on your switch. But you don't need to worry that maybe are you thinking maybe you are only showing some alerts, but you still keep the loop on your switch. No. After we show you now the loop on these switches, we also will block the port on it. Okay. So other ports which is not in the loop still working, but the port now is loop, it will block. So you don't need to worry about. Yeah. And then the next one is because this is the management switch, so which means you don't need to do any configurations. We already help you to configure all the things inside, including, like I said, the loop guard insides. So you just need to plug and play. You just unpack it, plug in your power, plug in your network cables, then it's work. So plug and play, and everybody can use that because it's very easy for use. Okay, so now you know we can have our QSW-1105 for 2.5 high-speed network solutions, but of course this is only a switch. You need other device working with it to have a high-speed network, and we talk about the PC and the laptop. How about the NAS? Of course, now QNAP already have some 2.5 gigabit NAS now, and in the future we'll have more. So no matter you are a professional high efficiency network storage usage, like you are an office user or you are studios office users, you can choose this NAS like a TS653, these kind of models. But if you are the home user, you like to have some very high levels, high-end digital, like streamings or video games, you can choose this kind of digital home with a high quality streamings. So yeah. Different kind of user, you can choose different kind of the NAS suitable for you.
Yeah, we still have some questions. Like,
yes.
Does this switch support VLANs?
No.
No, I don't think.
Yeah,
because it's a management switch.
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
The VLAN you need. If you want to use the VLAN, you can use our other, because we already have some management switches. You can choose our management switch.
I think it's like M40A,
yes.
Something like that.
Yes, M804.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Those kind of, if you can check our global websites, because we on the switch we will say it's the management and the unmanagement. We have two different kind of category on it. If you want to use like a VLAN, which you need to do some configurations, then you need to choose the management switches.
So for the switch with the manage function, we will have a M on the spec, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, so this is the today's we talk about QSW-1105 to give you high-speed network with the 2.5 gigabit.
Okay.
Yep.
So thank you for all the questions you have from all the questions, because that makes us explain more clearly to our newly launched switch, and the switch will be released on maybe next month, I think.
Yes.
And the price will be very affordable, and I hope you like it. And if you want to see more of our switch for management type or the unmanagement type, you can go to our website and check for more. And thank you for your watching, and we will see you next time on QNAP Live Broadcast. Bye.